Hi everyone, merhaba, this is Ayşenur Altan. Welcome to Turkish food recipes. In this episode, I'm preparing an iftar menu for you with traditional two recipes. First one is Tas Kebab, which is a meat chunks with potatoes, very delicious. And to serve with it, I'm making a Bulgur Pilav with lots of vegetables. It's a hearty meal for dinner or iftar time in Ramadan to enjoy with your family. So let's get started. I'm gonna begin by cooking my meat. I drizzled about 3 tablespoons olive oil to my pressure cooker and added 500 grams of ground beef. I'm gonna stir and cook until I have colors on my meat, and after that I'm adding hot water to almost cover my meat and cook until somewhat soft, about at least 30 minutes on pressure cooker. The time can change, depends on your meat type, so you can decide and check. Next, I'm going to begin chopping my vegetables for the Bulgur Pilav I'm gonna make. I have onions, green peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants, and 1 carrot. I begin to cut my carrots in small cubes, and the eggplants. I'm gonna partially cook the eggplants and carrots first and then continue to other steps. Choose a white pan for your pilav. Either it can be regular rice or bulgur pilav. Always use white pan. And I'm just stirring and cooking in some olive oil for about I'm gonna cook like 4 or 5 minutes until they are soft. Meanwhile, I'm continue to chop my veggies, onions first. How much you want to use is preferable, optional. If you have lots of veggies at hand in the season, you can use more and make it more delicious, flavorful, or you can either use less. So as you can see, the veggies are the eggplants and carrots are soft now. The reason I cook it first, because the temperature and the cooking time are different, and when you cook all together they don't cook well in the pan, so I prefer it this way. I'm gonna add it later. And again, I begin to now cook my onions first until they are soft and a little bit color on them, adding the green and red peppers. And to the next pan, I'm adding again some olive oil, heating up, and begin to cook my onions and more green peppers for my main dish. For some of you, you may prefer to cook like one dish first and then the next one, but this way, when you work with 2 dishes together, you spend less time on cooking on stove top. So I usually prefer to do like a couple of dishes at the same time. So back to my bulgur pilav, I added tomatoes chopped and a couple of cloves of garlic. I have very flavorful, colorful mixture right now on my pan for my pilav, and I still wanted to add some tomato paste to get more deeper taste. Stirred a little bit in the olive oil. It is important to cook it partially before you add it with the other ingredients to have a deeper taste on the tomato paste. And finally I can add my bulgur. This is coarse one. I washed it thoroughly and rinse. I'm gonna continue to stir all together for 3 minutes. Checking the meat, it looks done. And for the seasonings, I'm adding some paprika, sweet, black pepper, salt, and mix again. I had some homemade meat stock in the freezer, so I'm gonna use it. It makes so delicious and different, and also makes it healthier whatever you are cooking. And continue to add hot water over it. Like for 2 cups of bulgur wheat, you can use 3.5 cups of water or meat stock. I turned off the heat before for my tas kebab, since I was waiting for the meat to partially cook. So now I can continue. It's like same base as the bulgur pilav. I'm adding tomato paste over the onion and green pepper mixture, and after I cook it for 2 minutes, I added more tomatoes. Now I can add the partially cooked meat to my main pan. To season, I'm only using salt and hot paprika again. Stir everything well, and I'm gonna cook a little bit in the low heat until it is incorporated. Checking my pilav, looks good, still needs some time. So far so good. What do you think? So I'm gonna add some of the meat stock that I cooked my meat and continue to cook. My bulgur pilav with veggies looks nice. It soaked all the juice, and it is soft. You can check and always add more water if needed. I turn off the heat, and the meat was partially cooked. I'm gonna add the last ingredient, which is a potato, but I'm going to partially fry them before I add to my tas kebab, which makes a very different taste in the total result. So it is up to you to make it more delicious, deeper taste, or make it a little more healthier by not frying it. I think since we usually eat like almost 90% at home, it is okay to have some fried food from time to time. And I think it is probably the same with you, since we all are staying at home because of the COVID-19. So after I partially fried my potatoes, I'm adding to my meat, because they will continue to cook a little bit, just a simmer until all the flavors are combined. Adding a little bit more meat stock because it's a juicy meal, and I'm gonna simmer like 10 to 15 minutes. For the iftar preparations, I'm preparing my breakfast dishes. It is like an opening dish or appetizers you can call, but it is a must-have traditionally in our iftar table. So I have a white cheese, some kashar cheese, black olives, butter, and a jam. I'm checking my tas kebab one more time and turn off the heat. Preparing my table for the iftar. Dates are must have. We break our fast with dates. Of course, it's not an obligation, more like a suggestion by our prophet. And I had this semolina helva from day before. I just reheated and going to serve it to my plate again. I'm going to share the recipe. It's very easy and goes well with, especially in Ramadan or any time when you want to have some easy dessert. It's almost iftar time, so I brought my dishes too. My Tas Kebab and Bulgur Pilav with vegetables. So it's time for us to break our fast and enjoy. I hope you give it a try. This is one example from our Turkish style iftar menu. And I have other menus also you can check from my YouTube channel. I will continue to share more hopefully. I hope to see you in another delicious Turkish food recipes and vlogs. Ramadan Kareem, my friends.